sitting at home.
Looking for Video Bros.
Guess you could call us Video
Alright guys,
Bros.
welcome back to Video Bros. Didn't really have much DLC in it though, if you think about it.
It had one DLC thing, and it was a whole add-on, like, it was an expansion of it.
Yeah,
and also they wanted to update the textures and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And the lighting.
That's what I'm saying though. It's like, it doesn't, like, you can make it a little bit better. There's no reason to, like, there's no reason to, what do you call it, to justify making an HD remake. You can just make it look a little bit better on a better console. Yeah. Because, like, The Last of Us, they said The Last of Us on the PS3 was the best looking PS3 game I've ever seen in their lives. And then they brought it to the PS4, and they were like, okay, so they updated the lighting a little bit, and they updated the textures a little bit. What's the fucking point?
Alright, I'm up to Death Egg Zone. I am going to end it here.
And then they were saying, like,
You can finish what you were saying, and then we'll end the recording.
And they were saying, like, you released the game in 2013, and the PS4 version came out in 2014, a year later. Like, why? If you already played the first version, don't go get the HD remake. It's not worth it. If you haven't played, like, it's only worth it to anyone, for any HD remake, as if you never played the original. And
okay, yeah, I can see that.
Like, for instance, like they were saying, like Modern Warfare, right?
Oh Call God! Duty, don't even get me started on that.
Call of Duty Modern.
The bullshit they were trying to pull with that.
Well, they were saying, like, okay, you got Modern Warfare that came out in, like, 2005, 2004, around there. That game technically was already in HD by the time it came out, and they're like, and now we're gonna make an HD remaster. Like, why would you? And it's like, oh, we have full 1080p and 60 frames per second. And you know what they didn't talk about, which made me realize though that some HD remake could just be?
What?
Like, they're lazy fucks. Like, they're like, every company out there are lazy fucks. All they did was say, okay, you know what? We're gonna take the PC version. We're gonna go up and say, oh, I'm gonna put the PC version 1080p because it's already in the options menu. Okay, now I'm just gonna put it on the PS4, Xbox One. Done. Oh, it's an HD remake. And you know what, they really said that really frustrating? That really annoying?
I'm just going to get to the rest of this as much as I can until we stop recording.
Alright, that's
fine.
If I
have to refight Robotnik, when we record for this to finish it off next time, then, so be it.
So, you know what?
Or should I say, Soviet?
So you know what
it was a joke.
They said that really, really, really annoying.
Are you on my screen or yours?
I'm on mine, but I'm gonna look at yours.
Alright. I died fighting Robotnik because I was an idiot.
I see. But you know what they said though that's really annoying? Some guy mentioned emulators, and then he mentioned like Dolphin Emulator. Like, yes, emulator can do all these different crazy things and whatnot, but Dolphin Emulator is an exception. They're like, they exaggerated a little bit on it, but they were saying that, like, wait, let me just backtrack for a second. You just mentioned Dolphin Emulator. Dolphin Emulator, as the latest version, has 100% compatibility with every Wii and Wii game, including Virtual Console games on the Wii and anything else you download that gets on the Wii. Any game for the GameCube.
Project M, you can play on there too. Like how you can also use it for Project M.
Yes, but they're saying it has 100% compatibility with any game out there now. And you know something?
What?
Like, you can just go into Dolphin Emulator and turn a bunch of settings around and get it to fucking output a Wii that the Wii can't even do it can only do 480p at most, which is what the GameCube could have done, because the Wii is just a tweaked version of the GameCube, and they added motion control to it, but not the point. They were saying...
Yeah, basically.
But they were saying that the Wii can only do 1080p, and you can fucking take Dolphin Emulator and take any GameCube or Wii game that's out there, because it's all 100% compatible now with every single game, and you can get it to run at 1080p, at 2K, and at 4K resolutions. Like, they're like a fucking group of people in their fucking basement, in their boxers, developed a program that can upscale Wii games and games in fucking 4K, but a fucking major company can't even do that with their own games, and they only released 2 fucking remasters so far.
Well, also, don't forget, there are companies that either are just too cheap or too lazy to do such things.
No, you know something? They are too cheap. You know why? Because they said that no matter how much it costs to make a remaster, you know how much it's like virtually like say it costs you $1 million like for The Last of Us, just say, right?
I don't even know what the budget on that game was.
I don't know, but say if it cost $1 million just to make The Last of Us, right? On the PS3. Yeah. It would only take them like $500 to fucking say, you know what, we're upscaling it, better lighting, done. That's it. That's all it takes. It's fucking.
So then it doesn't take nearly as much money to remaster it than it does to originally.
No,
make
it's like the cheapest shit ever. Like, not that because all you have to do is just pay the developers and pay the developer to write the code to make the textures bigger or whatever, and then you have to pay the people off to make sure the game just works. That's about it. You're not really doing much to the game outside of, like, you're not developing a whole new game that takes, like, a fucking year. You just take one game and fucking finish it in, like, a couple weeks or whatnot.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's it. Like, literally, that's why you're saying, like, Nintendo is, like, the worst company ever about remasters, because they can't even do anything correctly when it comes to remastering. Like, sure, not The Last of Us, Wind Waker, and Wind Waker HD. And they had Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess, really, they said it wasn't really meant to, like, it's not necessary, but Wind Waker definitely was. Like, Wind Waker,
yes.
Because it's like, you already took
there were a lot more things that needed improving in Wind Waker than there were in Twilight Princess.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, there's, like, games that, like, shouldn't be remastered, and they're, like, a good example of a game that was remastered, or technically, was when they made, Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes for the GameCube. Like, technically, that was...
I used to have that, but I don't know what happened to it.
Yeah, that was a remaster of the first Metal Gear Solid game.
Yeah, I know.
A
remake.
My
brother told me that.
And they're saying, like, yes, all the games are, like, technically, like, they've been doing this for years, where they've been remaking games and re-releasing them as, like, new games, like how they did with Kirby for the Game Boy Advance.
Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland, yeah, it was
Nightmare in Dreamland, and then they did Castlevania 4. They talked about, or Super Castlevania 4.
Super Castlevania 4, yeah, it was a remake. Like, they remade Castlevania 1 twice.
And like they were saying,
the remake was on the PS1, and it was called.
And they were saying that one, like the only reason you should remaster a game is if the game has been lost already, like in HD. If the game's already been lost by the company and their coding, whatever, and they can't re-release that game anymore, and they want to do a remaster of it, sure, go ahead. That's totally fine. And then we get to play games that are like that we never got to play before. But and the only other reason you should ever release a remaster, technically, is if you're a couple of generations ahead of the current generation. Like The Last of Us was already got remastered, and it was only like last generation that game came out. You know what I'm saying? At the end of last generation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's true.
But they also were saying that, what's it called? That, where was I going with this?
I don't know.
I forget now.
If I beat the boss and then we stop recording during the credits, then I'll just continue where I left off on the credits next time we record for this. And then I'll watch you play the rest of this on your file. What do you say to that?
That's fine.
So if we finish this, I'll continue from my credit scene.
Yeah.
Next time I record, and then after I'll just watch on your screen to watch how you play.
Oh, what I've realized I remember what I was gonna say now.
Okay.
That the only reason that you should ever, like, another reason, like, you should only release a remaster or an HD version is if the original version sucked ass, like, really badly. Like, the Shadow of Colossus, I don't know if you played... That
game was great, by the way.
Yeah, you played the PS3 version, right?
Yeah, me and my brother had that, and it was great. But we never beat Ico, or whatever the sequel was called, the prequel was called, dude. That one was way too hard.
Yeah, they said that, like, Shadow of the Colossus for the PS3 was needed to be remastered because on the PS2 they said that game on the PS2 had like the lowest frame rates you could ever possibly imagine for a fucking game on the PS2.
Yeah, I didn't have that problem when we were playing through it on the PS3.
That's what they were saying, because they fixed it. Because they fixed all the problems and whatnot in that game, and then they re-released it. That's why, like with like they're even saying like they didn't mention this, but it really pissed me off. What Konami was doing with Metal Gear Solid, though, like with the remaster, that really pissed me off.
Well, it's better to be pissed off than pissed on.
True, but it's like if you're gonna get if you have Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 3, and 4, Why fucking release it 3 different times? Remastered 3 different times, 3 different collections.
Oh, I don't know.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're gonna fucking... Like, they're
I beat
gonna...
him.
Like, if you want Metal Gear Solid... Like, if you want Metal Gear Solid...
the fuck out of here.
Like, if you want Metal Gear Solid 2 remastered, go ahead. But you know what's gonna happen?
What?
It's gonna just be released on another pachinko machine.
Who cares about Metal Gear Solid? There's pachinko machines, so that's good.
Exactly.
Not. Plus, did you ever notice that, Castlevania, Lords of Shadows, those games ripped off of, Shadow of the Colossus?
Did they?
Yeah, there was a boss in the game that straight up ripped off of them. You had to climb all over him, and in order to like defeat him, and it was a giant like ice titan looking boss.
Yeah.
Kind of like that boss that was in Kingdom Hearts 1 that was from Hercules.
Oh.
That was in Olympus Coliseum. Yeah, it was a boss similar to that, and you're like on this icy lake or whatever, and it's like this is something from Shadow of the Colossus, where you had to constantly climb on enemies when you're fighting bosses to kill them. It's like to get to their weak points. I'm like, why? Who rips off Shadow of the Colossus?
I don't know, but
Plus, obviously, a way superior game.
You know what they said that makes sense though, but it probably like they don't know the information behind it, but it probably makes a lot of sense though.
What?
Like when Shadow of the Colossus came out for the PS2 and it had like the lowest frame rates possible for any game on the PS2, and they had to release it for the PS3 to make it better. When they first announced the last Guardian, which is just by the same company, they were saying that they probably delayed it so much because they knew that if they released it on the PS3, it was gonna have the worst frame rates ever. That's why they were releasing it on the PS4.
That's why Alpha Omega Sin brought up a good point, saying he doesn't get pissed when a game gets announced for being delayed, because it's like, okay, well, I'm happy. That means they're putting more work into this and making it as good as they can possibly get it.
Oh, speaking of that, before I end it, I saw his video on Final Fantasy, because I have to end it like really soon. Like, but I saw his.
I'm on the credits screen right now, by the way.
I saw his. So I see that. I saw Alpha Omega Sin video on the unboxing of the collector's edition of.
I didn't watch that, but Final Fantasy 15, right?
Yeah, like literally that's like the best collection you can ever get. Like, but he said the most annoying thing about that whole collection though, not beside the fact that like the box itself it comes in, it just says like the box itself when you get it out of the store, it's just like generic. Well, it's like a pretty generic, like a prettier version of a generic version of a box that says that had like the box art on it, whatever, and it says the Ultimate Collector's Edition of Final Fantasy 15. He opens it up, and there's a fucking another box, and he opens up again, and there's another box. He's like, it was like we waited 10 years for this game to fucking come out, and and they were developing this game so fucking long, and you know something? Opening this, huh?
Well, when did Final Fantasy 14 even come out?
Like 2 or 3 years ago, but they're saying they were in development, like they were like waiting for this to come out, like.
Oh, this game was in development for over 10 years?
Yeah, because they were.
Wow, that's crazy.
Because they're waiting for like the real technology to come out to make the game the best it can be.
Huh.
But he was saying that, and you know what he'd never seen before?
What?
Like when he opened the box, he didn't want to ruin anything of the box. It's like it took him like it was like he put a text up, and it's like 42 hours later.
Oh, that's
48
funny.
hours later.
Like SpongeBob?
Yeah, and then he's like
he did that. That's funny.
Yeah, he put that in there. Cause like there's a little seal on the box that says, "Oh, if you ruin it, if you break this seal, which is the seal you need to open the fucking box in the first place, like if you break this seal, it's not what do you call it? It's not what do you call it? It's not for resale anymore."
Here in a bit. It's not what, Jeff?
Not for resale anymore. Like if you break that seal, that you need to open the box in the first place after you get it out of the big box. Like you can't resell the game anymore.
Alright,
that's
so
what I said.
My credit screen ended, dude.
Yeah, but what he was saying though is like like unboxing this whole thing is like fucking waiting 10 years for this game to come out. Like that's how fucking long it felt like opening this box up. But like you get so much out of it. It's insane how much you get out of it. The collector's edition. You get the game. You get a fucking soundtrack on Blu-ray, which he doesn't know how it's gonna be though, because like most soundtracks don't come in Blu-ray, so it might be like a video soundtrack thing. And you get you get an anime with it. You get a fucking art book, and he also bought.
Oh, that's awesome.
And he also bought the what do you call it? the Play something, whatever called, like a figurine, where like they make amazing like detailed figurines of like different like video games and whatnot.
There weren't those Funko Pop figurines, were they?
No, it's like one of those things that like cost like over $1,000, like or like between
Holy
like
shit!
but like for like well for like $500 to $1,000 they cost, and like you can like disassemble them and refigure them and whatnot to make different things. So they come like if you get like Pit from Kid Icarus, you could buy that from that company, and they'll come out and you can like get like the dual wielded swords that he has, or you can get like with the shield or a different pose or whatnot, or like or have him holding the bow and arrow that he has, like different ways.
Dual wield.
Yeah.
I was referencing Roxas from Kingdom Hearts 2.
But he was saying like those games like those figurines are like detailed as fuck, so they're worth the money if you get them because they make amazing quality. Like they make the weapons as detailed as they can fucking possibly get them. Like they're 1-for-1 replicas of what they would be in the game.
Oh, ready for me to blow your mind with more stuff about voice actors I forgot to say earlier?
Well, I gotta get going, so we're gonna have to save it for the next episode.
Well, it was real quick. Roxas was voiced in Kingdom Hearts 2 by Jesse McCartney. He also voiced Robin on Young Justice, who became Nightwing in Season 2.
Yes, I do know about that.
Yeah, and he did a really good job. Robin was one of the best characters.
He was.
Then again, it was Robin. But then there was a new Robin, which was the Tim Drake Robin in Season 2. So that was not Jesse McCartney, because he was Nightwing at that point.
Yeah.
Alright, so next time we record, I'll try to mess around with the super forms and stuff for a couple minutes while you finish the rest of your playthrough.
Alright.
Because the credit screen ended a little bit ago for me.
Yeah, I know. But I gotta get going, so thanks so much for watching. Click the annotations in the outro and in the description below. And we will and the links in the description below, and we will see you in the finale, since I will beat this in the finale, so...
Yeah, it's not over if I just beat it. We're waiting for both of us to beat it, so I'm done. I'm just going to mess around with the super forms in the next session, and Jeff is going to beat it, because he died on Winged Fortress.
Yep. So, we will see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.
Hey guys, if you like what you saw in that video, please check out our latest series, To the Left. I hope you enjoy it. Also, if you want more hilarious videos, please check out our other series down below. I'm sure you will enjoy that as well. And last but not least, please hit that subscribe button. The more subscribers we get, the more content we can provide. Thank you, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.